The seven best Panchatantra stories that children would love to watch again and again.
The Girl Who Married a Snake, a Panchatantra story. Once upon a time, in a small village, there lived a farmer and his wife. They were very unhappy because they had no children. Every day they prayed to God, hoping to be blessed with a child. And one day their prayers were answered. The farmer's wife gave birth. But wait, it was no ordinary baby, it was a snake. Everyone in the village was shocked. The villagers gathered outside the farmer's house and demanded that he should take the snake and throw it in the nearby forest. The village head was very angry. He told the farmer,
"The snake is dangerous. It will bite you as well as us."
A woman was said in an angry voice.
You can't keep a snake as a son. Kill it immediately.
The farmer was uncertain. He did not know what to do. He realized that it was dangerous to keep a snake. However, the farmer's wife was not ready to throw away the snake.
There is no reason for anyone to worry. He's my son, no matter what. I love him and will take good care of him.
She got the village carpenter to make a special blue box, which she kept in her room. She would herself feed the snake, sing songs to him, and in the night place it in the wooden box to sleep comfortably. She loved her snake son with all her heart and raised him like any other child. But as the snake grew older, she started thinking,
My son needs a bride. But who will marry a snake?
One day, when the farmer came home, he found his wife weeping. The farmer was concerned.
What's wrong? Why are you crying?
The farmer's wife was clearly unhappy and sad.
You don't care about our son. He has grown up, and you're not even trying to find him a bride.
The farmer was taken aback.
A bride? For a snake? Are you in your senses? Who would marry his daughter to a snake?
But the wife refused to see reason. For days, she continued to cry. The farmer finally decided to find a bride for his snake son and set off on a journey. He went from city to city, but people laughed at him.
Are you mad? Do we want our daughters to be bitten by a snake and die? Please go away and don't come again.
Finally, the farmer reached a city where his childhood friend lived. By now, the farmer was very frustrated and did not know what to do. The farmer's friend was very excited to see his childhood buddy and exclaimed,
"It's been ages, friend. What brings you here?"
The farmer, in a low voice, said,
My friend, I have been going around the country looking for a bride for my son, but have not found anyone suitable.
On hearing this, the farmer's friend was ecstatic.
"Say no more. I have a beautiful daughter, and I've been looking for a groom for her. It seems God himself has sent you here to fulfill my wishes. You don't have to look further. My daughter will marry your son."
The farmer did not want to mislead his friend.
You haven't even seen my son. I request you to meet my son, and then finalize the marriage.
But the farmer's friend would hear nothing.
"I trust you and your family. That's enough. The match is settled. Get ready for marriage."
The farmer returned home with the bride-to-be and started preparations for the wedding. The villagers were scandalized. They tried to stop the girl and plead with her,
Don't marry the snake. It will ruin your life.
but the girl refuses to listen.
My father gave his word, and I will honor it.
The wedding takes place with much fanfare. A band plays on the occasion, and the happy parents bless the couple. The villagers, however, boycott the wedding. The bride moves with her snake husband into her new home. The snake sleeps in his box while the bride looks on lovingly. She was a devoted wife and showered her snake husband with love and affection. But one night, when the bride stepped into her room, she saw the snake missing. Instead, she found a handsome young man standing in the room. She gasped and demanded in a fierce voice,
Who are you? How did you enter my room? Please leave immediately or else I will raise an alarm.
The young man smiled and told the bride.
Don't be afraid. I'm your husband.
To prove his point, the man stepped into the snake's skin, and before the surprised bride could bat an eyelid, the handsome young man had turned into a snake. The bride could not believe her eyes. She wanted to call her family and tell them of this miracle, but her husband forbids her from doing so. The bride reluctantly agreed to this strange wish of her husband. Every night after that, the snake would turn into a young man and spend the night happily with her bride. At daybreak, he would slither back into the snakeskin and become a snake again. One night, the farmer walked into the room just when the snake was shedding his skin. He couldn't believe what he saw. And then an idea came to his mind. He seized the snakeskin and hurled it into the fire. The young man noticed what had happened, but instead of getting angry and rebuking the farmer, the young man was full of gratitude.
Father, thank you. You freed me. I was cursed to remain a snake until someone destroyed my snakeskin without being asked.
The young man then hugged his father and mother, who had entered the room on hearing the commotion. The curse was broken. The young man never turned into a snake again and lived happily ever after with his loving wife. The moral of the story: love and faith can overcome even the strangest challenges.
If you enjoyed listening to this story, then please like, share, and subscribe to the Fables Forever channel by clicking the subscribe button below and enjoy more such stories. The Hunter and the Four Friends, a Panchatantra story. Once upon a time, in a green jungle, there lived four friends: a cheerful deer, a clever crow, a brave mole, and a wise old tortoise. Every day they met under a big shady tree to chat and play. One day, as always, the tortoise, the mole, and the crow reached the tree and started chatting. But the deer did not come. The worried mole then asked the crow, "Crow, can you fly over the trees and see if you can find our missing friend?" The crow flapped its wings and took off. It did not take him long to see what had happened. The deer was trapped in a hunter's net. The crow called out to the deer, "My friend deer, what happened?" The deer looked up at the crow and said in a weak voice, "Oh crow, I am trapped. The hunter set this trap and he will be back soon. Can you please help?" The crow flew back to the tree as fast as he could. He saw the tortoise and mole waiting for him. The crow told them what he had seen. The three friends then came up with a plan. The tortoise was asked to wait under the tree while the crow and the mole were to go and free the deer. It was almost noon by now. The tortoise looked at his two friends anxiously. The crow hopped across to the mole, caught it in his beak, and then flew quickly to their trapped friend. The deer was waiting patiently for his friends and was happy to see them arrive. The crow put the mole down next to the deer, and the mole started biting through the net with its sharp little teeth, and soon the deer was free. Meanwhile, the worried tortoise, instead of waiting for his friends to return, started crawling towards the spot where the deer was lying trapped. By the time he reached the spot, the mole had cut the net and the deer was ready to flee. The three friends thought the worst was over, but then they saw the hunter, who suddenly appeared out of the bushes. The deer quickly jumped out of the net and ran. The crow took to the skies, while the mole found a corner and crawled into it. The tortoise was not so lucky. He could not move fast enough to evade the hunter. The hunter saw the tortoise and smiled to himself. "If not the deer, then maybe I will have a nice tortoise soup tonight." The hunter caught the tortoise and tied him with a rope so that he could not escape. He then left with the tortoise. The deer and the crow rushed to the place where the mole was hiding. The crow begged the mole to help. "We can't lose our friend. Let's save him," he pleaded with the mole. The mole looked at his friends and said, "I have an idea." The idea was clever. The three friends knew that there was a lake ahead. The deer ran swiftly towards the lake and then collapsed on the ground, pretending as if he was dead. The crow flew to the fallen deer and started pecking at him. When the hunter saw a deer lying in his path, with a crow pecking at it, the hunter was overjoyed. "I lost one deer, but it looks like I found another," he said with joy. The delighted hunter dropped the tortoise on the ground and rushed to pick up the deer. The mole saw his opportunity and raced to the tortoise. As with the net, the mole with his sharp teeth cut the rope, and the tortoise was free. The tortoise then crawled towards the lake. As soon as the crow saw the tortoise enter the water, he gave a loud call and took to the skies. This was a signal for the deer, who quickly jumped up and ran into the forest, leaving the hunter alone. The hunter realized that he had been fooled. All the animals had gone. He was left with nothing and could only feel foolish at the way the four friends had got the better of him. The deer, the crow, the mole, and the tortoise then headed for their favorite spot. They sat down under the tree and rejoiced at what they had done. Moral of the story: united, you can face any challenge. If you enjoyed listening to this story, then please like, share, and subscribe to the Fables Forever channel by clicking the subscribe button below and enjoy more such stories. The Foolish Lion and the Wise Rabbit. A Panchatantra story. Once upon a time, in a thick forest, there lived a mighty lion. He was powerful, fierce, and cruel. In the jungle lived scores of animals. They included deer, wolves, donkeys, buffaloes, rabbits, jackals, monkeys, elephants, and many more. The lion loved to hunt the animals and would pounce upon them with a mighty. The poor animals were very worried about the lion. One day, they called a meeting of all animals to find the solution. During the meeting, one brave deer stepped forward and said,
"If the lion keeps this up, soon there'll be no animals left in the forest."
So the animals decided to talk to the lion and make a deal. They went to the lion's cave and requested him to join the meeting called by the animals. The animals arrived early for the meeting and waited for the lion to come. Finally, the lion arrived and demanded.
What do you want, animals?
A rabbit got up nervously and said,
"Oh, mighty lion, we have come to you with a humble request. Every day we will send one animal to you for food. This way you'll never have to hunt."
The lion thought about this and agreed, provided
"The animal must come on time, or else I will kill all of you."
the animals were greatly relieved. They could now live their lives peacefully. Only one animal was required to become the lion's food every day. Days passed, and one day it was an old, wise rabbit's turn to go. The rabbit had an idea. He took his time and arrived at the lion's den after sunset. When the lion saw the rabbit, he was furious.
"Why are you late? And you are so small. I will still be hungry after eating you."
The rabbit said timidly,
"Oh, mighty lion, it's not my fault. I was on my way here with 5 other rabbits, but we were attacked by another lion. He said that he is the king of the jungle and we should be his meal."
The lion could not believe this. How can there be another lion in the jungle? And how could he challenge him? The lion roared in anger.
Show me this impostor! How dare he eat my food! I will kill him!
The clever rabbit led the lion to a well filled with clear water. The rabbit then turned to the lion and said,
Look, mighty lion, he's down there.
The lion peeked over the edge of the well and saw his own reflection. But the lion was so furious that he did not realize that he was seeing his own image in the water. He thought it was another lion staring back at him. The lion roared in fury. The roar echoed in the depths of the well and came back even louder. This made the mighty lion even angrier. He roared louder and the water rippled. The lion thought his rival was challenging him. Without a second thought, the lion leapt into the well, ready to kill his rival. But instead of finding another lion, he found that he was sinking in the water. The desperate lion tried hard to climb out of the well, but the well was too deep and he drowned. The wise rabbit hopped back to the tree where the other animals were waiting anxiously. The rabbit smiled and told the animals,
My plan worked. The lion is dead. He jumped into the well and drowned.
The news was greeted with great cheer, and the happy animals danced with joy through the night. Thanks to the rabbit, the animals lived happily once again. The moral of the story: intelligence is superior to physical strength. If you enjoyed listening to this story, then please like, share, and subscribe to the Fables Forever channel by clicking the subscribe button below and enjoy more such stories. A Tale of Three Fishes, a Panchatantra story. Once upon a time, in a large pond, there lived three fishes who were good friends. They would swim with other fishes and feel happy and safe in their home. One sunny afternoon, a group of fishermen arrived at the pond. They said to each other, Look at these fishes. There are even big ones. Let's come back tomorrow and catch them. When the three fishes heard this plan, they were worried. They started talking about what they should do. The first fish said, I don't want to stay and risk being caught. I'll leave with my family right away. I suggest you two come with me to a safer pond. The second fish agreed. You are right. It is too risky to stay here. I will come with you. The third fish had a different opinion. Why are you both so scared? She asked. This pond has been our home forever. Nothing bad has happened here before. So why should we leave now? If the fishermen come, we'll deal with it. It is our home, and I will not leave. The pond got divided. Several fishes, trusting the first two fishes, decided to leave that very evening through a small opening that led to another pond. The rest, feeling that this was their home, decided to stay back. By evening, the fishes who wanted to be safe swam to a new pond, leaving their old home behind. Early the next morning, the fishermen returned. They cast their nets wide, covering the entire pond. Every fish that stayed behind was caught in the net. The fishes that were caught in the net gasped for life as the fishermen pulled their nets out of the pond and started placing the fishes in big baskets. Without water, all of them died. But the fish who listened and swam to safety lived happily in their new home. The moral of the story: do what you think is right, even if your friends laugh at you. If you enjoyed listening to this story, then please like, share, and subscribe to the Fables Forever channel by clicking the subscribe button below and enjoy more such stories. The Blue Jackal, a Panchatantra story. In a deep forest lived a clever jackal whose name was Chandarana. He was a big eater and kept searching for food all day. One day, Chandarana could not find food in the forest. He was very hungry and decided to go to the nearby village in search of food. It was night time, and the villagers had put off their lamps and gone to sleep. The jackal quietly entered the village searching for food. But as he was sniffing around, a pack of village dogs spotted him. They didn't like the jackal in their village and attacked him. The scared Chandarana ran through the village, searching for a safe place to hide from the dogs. In his hurry, he entered a washerman's house. There, in the front lawn, he saw a huge washing tub. The jackal did not know, but the tub was full of special blue dye that the washerman had prepared to wash clothes next morning. By now, the dogs were very close to him. Chandarana had no time to think. In his panic, he jumped into the washing tub. When the barking stopped and the dogs had left, Chandarana carefully climbed out of the tub. He shook off the water and then turned around. He saw there was a big mirror next to the tub. The jackal looked in the mirror, and what he saw made him gasp. The washerman's dye had turned him into a blue jackal. Amazed at the change, Chandarana raced back to the forest, but when he arrived, the other animals stopped and stared. The deer jumped on its feet. The lion gazed at the blue jackal in surprise. The elephant reared on its feet. The monkeys went chatter chatter. The rabbit looked on in amazement as the crow flew close to the jackal to find out who was this new animal. Chandarana realized he could use this to his advantage. He puffed up his chest and announced, "Do not fear, dear animals. I am Chakradruma, a special creation sent by the gods to protect you all. The gods have made me your king." The animals were terrified. They believed the blue jackal's story and bowed down to him as their new king. Chandarana now renamed himself as King Chakradruma. He then appointed the lion as his first minister, the tiger as his chief advisor, and the elephant as his head of guards. All other animals were given a place to sit in the blue jackal's court. The animals brought him food every day, and he got the first and the biggest share. The rest he divided among the animals. It was a great way to live, and the jackal started enjoying his royal life. One day, as King Chakradruma sat on his throne, he heard a familiar sound, a pack of jackals howling in the distance. It was a sound that made him nostalgic. Without thinking, he threw his head back and howled like a jackal. When the lion and the other animals heard him howl, they realized that their king was only a jackal, and they had been fooled by him. They angrily said to each other, "This jackal has fooled us. We will not let him live any more. He should be punished." They pounced on the blue jackal and killed him. The moral of the story: don't fool others by becoming one that you are not. If you enjoyed listening to this story, then please like, share, and subscribe to the Fables Forever channel by clicking the subscribe button below and enjoy more such stories.
The Greedy Son and the Wise Snake, a Panchatantra story. Once upon a time, in a quiet little village, lived a poor farmer. He worked hard in his fields from sunrise to sunset, but no matter how hard he worked, he was unable to raise a good crop. One warm day, after hours of working, the farmer sat under a shady tree, taking a break. As he rested, he saw a magnificent snake come out from a nearby anthil. This wasn't any ordinary snake. It had a grand hood and a long, smooth body. The farmer's eyes widened in awe. He thought,
could this snake be the guardian of my field? Is he upset with me because I've never offered it anything?
The farmer was overcome with fear. He rushed home, got a bowl of fresh milk, and returned to the anthil. Bowing respectfully, he placed the milk near the anthil and said,
O guardian of this field, forgive me for not offering milk before. I didn't know you were here. Please accept this humble offering.
The farmer then left, hoping he'd shown the snake proper respect. The next morning, the farmer returned to the field, and guess what did he find? A shiny gold coin in the bowl where he'd left the milk. His eyes widened in surprise.
A gold coin, it's a gift from the snake.
From that day on, every morning brought the same miracle. The farmer would offer milk to the snake, and the snake would leave behind a gold coin in return. Life grew brighter, and the farmer felt blessed. One day, the farmer had to travel to a distant land. He asked his son to look after the snake in his absence. The son, as instructed by his father, went to the field in the morning and placed a bowl of milk beside it. Next morning, when the farmer's son returned to the field, he found a gold coin waiting for him. The son was overcome by greed. He thought,
if one gold coin is here every day, the anthill must be full of gold coins. I'll kill the snake and take them all.
The next day, the son returned with milk and a thick stick. He placed the bowl of milk next to the anthill and then patiently waited for the snake to come out. When the snake came out to drink the milk, the farmer's son hit it with a stick. But the snake was quick. It dodged the blow and, feeling threatened, bit the farmer's son. The bite was deadly, and soon the son fell to the ground and died. When the farmer returned to his village, he was heartbroken to learn of his son's fate. He discovered what had happened and was filled with both grief and regret. With a heavy heart, he returned to the field and placed the bowl of milk by the anthill. He called out to the snake respectfully,
Oh, guardian of the field, please forgive us. My son acted foolishly.
The snake emerged slowly. This time its hood was not open. It watched the farmer with wise, unblinking eyes. The snake was cautious. Finally, in a calm, serious voice, the snake hissed,
Farmer, you have come here out of greed, not grief. Your son struck me with a stick, and I bit him in defense. The trust between us is now broken. You will never forget the pain of losing your son, and I will never forget the blow of the stick.
The snake then offered one last gift, a sparkling diamond.
Take this and go in peace, but never return.
With that, the snake slithered back into the anthill, never to be seen again. The farmer returned home with the diamond, his heart heavy with regret. He decided that he will tell this story to all villagers and caution them against the dangers of greed. The moral of the story: excessive greed can lead to sorrow only.
If you enjoyed listening to this story, then please like, share, and subscribe to the Fables Forever channel by clicking the subscribe button below and enjoy more such stories.
The Clever Jackal and the Foolish Donkey, a Panchatantra story. Once upon a time, in a deep green jungle, there lived a mighty lion. But he wasn't alone. He had a clever jackal as his friend and helper. The lion hunted, and the two friends then feasted on the meat. One day, after a fierce fight with an elephant, the lion was badly hurt. He couldn't walk properly and couldn't hunt. With no food, both the lion and the jackal became weak. They would keep lying on the ground, hoping that some animal may stray into their area. One day, the jackal could not bear the hunger anymore and said,
Oh, Master, I haven't eaten in days. Now, I'm too weak to help you.
The lion moaned and said softly,
Go find an animal that I can kill. Otherwise, We'll both starve.
The jackal sighed, but then went to a village next to the forest, where he spotted a donkey looking tired and hungry. The jackal greeted the donkey and said,
"Greetings, Uncle Donkey. You look so thin and tired. Why is that?"
The donkey sighed.
"My master is very cruel. He makes me work all day. I have to carry heavy loads, but he barely gives me any food." The clever jackal saw his opportunity, and in his sweetest voice said,
"Donkey Uncle, come with me. In the jungle, my master protects all animals. There's plenty of fresh green grass, and you can live peacefully."
The donkey believes the jackal's words and follows him into the jungle, unaware that he is walking into trouble. After walking for 2 hours, the two reach the place where the lion is waiting. He sees the donkey first. The jackal stays behind, not to raise the fears of the donkey. The hungry lion can't stop himself. He jumps up and attacks the donkey, but he jumps too early, misses the donkey, and falls onto the ground. The frightened donkey runs for his life, leaving the lion looking foolish. The once mighty lion feels sad at his condition.
I can't believe I missed. Even a donkey escaped from me today.
The jackal is very touched by his friend's condition. The jackal runs after the donkey and soon catches up with him. The donkey is panting. When he sees the jackal, he exclaims,
"You tricked me. Who was that creature that attacked me?"
The jackal is careful. He puts on a kind face.
"Oh, Donkey Uncle. You misunderstood. That was a female donkey who wanted to hug you because she hadn't seen another donkey in years."
The foolish donkey believes the jackal again and follows the jackal back to the lion. This time the lion waits patiently for the donkey to come closer. He then roars and jumps on the donkey. The donkey falls to the ground and the lion kills him. The lion asks the jackal to guard the donkey's body while he goes to drink water. But the jackal, starving from days without food, couldn't resist. He ate the donkey's brain. When the lion returns, he notices that the donkey's brain is missing. He demands in an angry voice,
"Where's the donkey's brain?"
The cunning jackal was ready and says calmly,
"Master, this donkey had no brain at all. If he had a brain, would he have come back after you attacked him?"
The lion thought about it and agreed. The two friends then had a good meal after many days of hunger. The moral of the story: you should not let sweet words deceive you.
If you enjoyed listening to this story, then please like, share, and subscribe to the Fables Forever channel by clicking the subscribe button below and enjoy more such stories.